All right, welcome into the Daily Fix. Some of you call it the Fix, some of you call it the DF. I don't know. I don't know if anybody actually does that. But this is the Daily Fix with your host, Ron Hughley, as you see there in that little box where he rightfully belongs. The man, the myth, the legend, Steven Surt is in the building.
Hi.
Hi. All right. As we do every day, and if you're first time joining us, we appreciate you joining us. Share, like, let some folks know, and however you're taking us in, whether you're Twitter, whether on YouTube, we appreciate you, uh, and hope that you listen daily. What I do want you and need you to do is head to our YouTube channel, Foolish Club Media. Head to our YouTube channel right now, Foolish Club Media, and like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe as we continue to try to grow this thing. And remember, if you do not do so, you're preventing my children from eating. So please stay tuned for that. Make sure you do that. Not going to hold you too long here today, as usual. A few things to cover. One, Michael Vick. We are getting the Michael Vick experience again. I wonder how people feel about that. We'll get into that. Also, Patrick Mahomes, I think many of you obviously know this, but he is a better man than me. A much better man than me. I'll explain in just a bit. And I want to start here. Let me get my 2 minutes here, Steve. I think as the way that I always operate, and if you've listened to me over the years, you know this. Me, I am much more of the guy that, listen, I like to celebrate greatness. I love greatness. And I don't mind praising things. But for me, the way that my brain operates as a fan and as somebody that watches things, sir, has always been, all right, what more towards what are the issues? What does my team need to avoid? All right. And in this game, the thing that should keep Andy Reid, the Chiefs, up at night and Chiefs fans up at night is the Texans' advantage. And I think there's an argument that this may be the biggest advantage in the game, on either side. There's an argument for it, and that is, in particular, the Houston Texans edge rushers against the Chiefs tackles. Not as much interior, but the edge rushers. It is their greatest strength. And I've watched every one of these games this team has played, the Texans. It is their greatest strength by far, and it is the greatest weakness by far for the Chiefs. I've watched every one of their games as well. And this is no lie, potentially a problem. If you were to ask me right now, we came in on Monday, and I'm like, all right, the Chiefs lost how? It's because Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, both, by the way, have double-digit sacks, the only duo in the league on a team that has double-digit sacks. And then they can bring Danico Autry, who's had double-digit sacks just as early as last year with the Titans, and been pretty good since he has been back from suspension. And then Derek Barnett, also an impact player. They're edge rushers. Just to put it this way, sort of, Danico Autry and Barnett would be a problem for the Chiefs as edge rushers, and that's their second string. So, to me, that is to me how it would shape out. How do the Chiefs potentially lose this game is that those edge rushers are so good that it just absolutely takes out anything that the Chiefs can do. And that's the other thing, is they're really good against the run too. All right, and they can get after the passer. So that is a real issue. And I think the number one concerning thing in this game for the Chiefs is, how do they minimize the impact of those edge rushers?
Yeah, and I mentioned it yesterday. The Texans are a team that I had much higher hopes for coming into this season. They haven't really lived up to the hype that was coming into year 2 of CJ Stroud, in part because their offensive line is awful. And, Nico Collins was hurt for a significant period of time, but obviously he's still a problem. But the one thing that has been truly consistent with the Texans is that pass rush. Their defensive line is very, very good and presents a serious problem in a way that not even Myles Garrett presented a problem for the Chiefs last week because the Browns had like one superstar pass rusher and the Texans have several guys that can give you problems.
Yeah, it's more like the Chargers, right? I think the Texans have the best. And I'm not including the interior here, but just defensive ends, edge rushers. I think they have the best edge rusher room in the NFL. And second to that is the Chargers to me. And the Chargers gave the Chiefs hell both matchups, and you can see that being the case here, especially. Right, like the thought is they're going to run that line they ran out there last week, right? I don't think Humphreys is going to play. It seems like it's going to be Caliendo at left guard with your all-pro left guard kicking out to tackle again. And look, I know that, he got hit the amount of times he did. I think a lot of that has to do with Andy and the play calling. I mean, I'm not so sure that I wouldn't push the button. Now, I don't want to push the button that they're going to throw it 50 times, but I like to push the button. Like that first half performance, can you give me that? Like, that was good enough for this team to win. Now, it's a tougher task, as you said. It's not just one, it's multiple guys. But they'll move them inside. There'll be times where sort of all four of those guys will be on the field in third downs. So that's a big key. All right. Patrick Mahomes is a better man than me. I want to make sure I have this right, Steve. Patrick Mahomes bought, and I know this is something that he does. He bought all of his offensive linemen holiday gifts, and they're as followed. All of them got Rolexes, ostrich boots, and them ostrich skins boots. Now that I've heard, those are pricey, Jack. And I would imagine with these big, heavy feet dudes that they are custom to their feet. Like you ain't just going to the store and buying Creed Humphrey regular ass shoes. All right, or Kingsley. Yeti coolers, them things are expensive. I looked into that once, and then I went on and moved on. Some nice Oakley sunglasses. Now I think he probably got those on the house. But some nice Oakley sunglasses, and then those Neuromatics, those things that help you recover. He got 2 of them for each leg for all the linemen. I don't know how much money that is, Steve, but that's a whole lot of damn money. And then when I saw the photo, Steve, it's 12 different gifts, 12 different ones at 12 different lockers. Steve, there's only 2.5 players that deserve those Christmas gifts. And now he's a better, like, I'm not going to lie to you. Kingsley deserves a gift card. He deserves a $100 gift card to Home Goods or something like that. Jawan Taylor deserves a $200 gift card to Home Goods or Ashley's Furniture. I would give Trey 3 of the things on this list, but he doesn't deserve all of them. Wanye, he deserves a $105 gift card to Home Goods or Ashley Furnitures. I mean, it's only Creed and Joe Tooney who deserves it. Maybe that Caliendo, he deserves a couple of things too. I mean, this is ridiculous. Listen, and I know Mahomes, they ain't protected your ass. Okay, they haven't done anything to deserve to get all of this. I mean, how much you think that is, Steve? I mean, that is.
I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, depending on the Rolex. I mean, that ain't cheap. Man, hell no. 12 of them? No, 12 offensive linemen didn't deserve that. I'm trying to count on my hands, sort of, who the other ones are.
Right. And this was like 2 weeks ago against the Raiders where he got Wanye benched essentially because he got so angry.
No, don't say that.
I can't.
No. Wanye got Wanye benched. Okay,
well, yeah, sure.
Wanye got Wanye benched.
But I don't know if it happens if Mahomes doesn't freak out in that game and lose his cool.
Man, get the hell up out of here, man. Like, yeah, I'm not saying you can't get them gifts, but I think you ought to send them a message by getting them the gifts of what they deserve this year. This is the kind of stuff that Jared Goff needs to get his guys. This is the kind of stuff that Jalen Hurts needs to get his guys. These guys deserve gift coupons to Perkins. All right. Finally, Steve, Michael Vick. The Michael Vick experience is back. If you remember, he started out. He was doing some coaching during training camp with the Chiefs and Andy Reid. We would see him up there when we covered the Chiefs up in St. Joe. He did that, but he gets an opportunity and has been hired as the next head coach at Norfolk State. By the way, he had his choosing. Sacramento State was coming after him too. I want to get a little back and forth on this, Steve. Do you think, like with you, has enough time passed for you with the dog situation that, all right, man, you're okay with this? I know you're a dog lover, but as enough time passed, because you remember when he went with the Steelers, Peter was outside, and that was a big thing. Are you good? Do you think enough time's passed for this situation, and not just you, but do you think the world is going to not just look at Mike Vick as the dog killer and like, all right, cool, man. He's good to have another opportunity.
I mean, yeah, like yes, I am a dog lover, but also at the same time, it's not like Michael Vick has been in the shadows all these years. Like he has been out present, been on TV, doing whatever. Like he has been active and out there and seemingly has rehabilitated himself. He did what he had to do. He went to prison and seemingly
he's become an advocate
he's led a healthy, productive life after that, where he has tried to be a better person. Like if we're not on board with people trying to rehabilitate their images and being able to forgive them, then what's the point of all of it? Like, if you're one of those people that just says he should be in prison for the rest of his life, okay, I get it, but he did what he had to do to get past that situation.
How long ago you think this was? This was 2007, man. Like, and look, for some people, like, I understand it. Like, some people, some things hit really heavy. You know me, domestic violence, like guys beating up on women, that hits me really heavy. And that's like, it's guys like Frank Clark and Tyreek and even Kareem Hunt. There's still a kind of a look or thought in my mind. But like with Kareem, I didn't like every time when he first came with the Chiefs, every broadcaster was bringing up what happened and why he left the Chiefs. And that happened, a long time ago. And yes, he is, like you were saying about Mike Vick has kind of changed himself and at least giving him a chance to have a second chance. Because I don't think anybody should have the key thrown away. They should be allowed to make make better on their choices and to live life again. So I think it's been enough time. I won't be surprised, though, if we start hearing rumblings of acts or people having issues with him being able to be a head coach again. But I will say, I think he played it right, Serta. The way, as you talked about his rehabilitation, this has been a long time. Like, he has been in, like I said, he has become an advocate for dogs. Like, he has done things. He's done a lot of work with Fox, done a lot of work to kind of build his image back up to where I don't think it will be Mike Vick, the dog killer, being hired at Norfolk State. I think now it's Mike Vick, the former football player, is being hired at Norfolk State, and now teams are trying to pull what Deion Sanders pulled off at Jackson State and at Colorado with a player like this. I don't think the dog fighting thing is going to be a conversation as much anymore. And I'm glad for that. Hi, Mom and Courtney.